What is up, folks? This is Ericast, and welcome back to Infinity Minecraft. Does this bother you? It bothers me. It's been bothering me. It's a bit of a... Well, maybe if I had that one down some. It, yeah, it reminds me kind of like the... Oh, what is that staircase picture? Where people are walking on like the tops and bottoms of a staircase, and the staircases all line up no matter which way or how you go, but it in actual reality you wouldn't be able to make that picture work. It's just kind of one of those mind puzzles kind of things. I don't need these anymore. Um, I mean, I'll need them for other stuff, but I don't need my inventory. Alright, so I wanted to come get some glass. As you can see, I actually have some glass in here. I don't have much. Yes, I know there's like 1,000 glass, but I don't actually... When it comes to making a lot of something, 1,000 of any material is not much. Especially when you're working like... This was thousands of glass. I don't even know how many it was. But when it comes to building especially... You want to be able to make several thousand of a thing, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. Not if it's small buildings, you will, but otherwise. All right, so I don't want to shift click on that thing, so I'm just going to do it like this. I mean, it's a little roundabout way of doing it, but whatever. All right, so what I'm going to do is actually set up the energy pylons, because that's something we didn't do in the last episode. I ended up running out of time. Because I yammer a lot. If you don't know what that word means, then go ahead and look it up, because you need to know what yammer means. It's not a word in common usage anymore. So, it would still work on Scrabble, because I believe yammer should be in the dictionary. It's a bit of a colloquialism, but... not really. It was used for long enough. I think that they did put it in the dictionary, but not positive on that. But, you'll be able to find it online if, you don't know. And I do encourage you guys to look stuff up, because shrinking vocabulary is actually an issue. And it makes me sad. Like, I'm a writer. It's what I do. It's something that I really enjoy doing. And when it's, people just don't understand because their vocabularies are, smaller and smaller because people just don't read these days. I think it's sad. As much as I love Etho, he doesn't use adverbs. And it drives me nuts. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. But, oh, Etho, I love you, but use adverbs. Canadians. No, just kidding. All right, so that's it. I'm pretty sure it's not a Canadian thing. I've lived near Canada for a long time, and I did spend... Isn't that cool? Just, shift right click so you don't activate that at all, or, and just put a piece of glass on top of it. So, this is an input. But yeah, I lived in British Columbia for only a month, but it was long enough to, get to really know people, and I know they use adverbs. So, I think it's just Etho. Etho. Alright, so... The way you tell this is an input is, just look at the circles. You can tell by the color pattern on here that it's input or output, but I don't recommend it, because maybe if you're a colored person, it'll be a big deal and you'll notice it. But if you just look at the colors, if you just look at the circle, then it's easy to tell, because you can tell the circles are shrinking in towards the center. So that means it's an input. If I go ahead and move this and I change this, shift right click. No? Is it the circle that I have to... Okay, there we go. So now you can tell the... You shouldn't have any energy. Why are you doing that? What the... I'm confused. I'm really confused. And why are they going that direction? Okay, maybe I've got this wrong. And you'll find also that I am somebody who admits when they're wrong. I'm not saying that anybody else, doesn't, but that's just something about me that if I say something on YouTube that I get wrong, I'm not going to go back and edit it. I'm going to say, no, actually that's not right. I'm sorry, guys. I screwed up. Now, I put that one on the level. I had planned on dropping it down, but apparently I didn't. Yeah, it's level with the other one. Okay. Okay, let's do like that. Now, did I get this backwards? That's the question. Now, the best way that you can tell is the way that the particles flow. Now, these are flowing towards the sphere. So, I mean, towards the big sphere. Actually, it's not a sphere, and I don't know how many triangles there are on this thing. So don't even ask me to figure out what the name of this thing would be. Because it actually has sides. So, I don't know. I'm not going to even try to guess. Alright, so I need to get... We'll figure it out in just a second which of the two it is. I actually might put 2 more pylons just to balance it, but actually I kind of look the way with the floating. Actually like the bridges too, but I'm not going to leave those there. I need to make 2 more tesseracts. And I'm going to make these... I'm going to set these up in a special way. Alright, so I need to make... Alright, TS. I need to make 2 frames. I should have what I need in here. 1, 2... Okay, good. And if I don't have any liquid ender in the other room, then I can go ahead and pull those out of that. Alright, crucible. I think it's this one? No, it's redstone. Alright, this one. That should be enough. Should be more than enough, actually. And this, I'll be happy when this animation is fixed. I don't know why they haven't fixed it. It's either the texture pack people or the, oh. You know what? I don't think I've actually updated my texture pack in a while. So, that could just be me being dumb. It's probably me being dumb. I will check between this episode and next if there's an update to the texture pack. I imagine there is because I have not updated it in a long time. So, that's probably just me being a dork. Is that a surprise to anybody? No. Especially the people that know me. Alright, so, got that. I want this. 1, 2. Oh, 2. Alright, so I'm going to go down here, and I'm not going to set these up the way that I'm planning on setting them up just yet. I want to set this up okay. I'm just going to set them both up to channel 1 at the moment without really worrying about it too much. There's actually a specific way. Oh, you know what? I think I actually need a cable between the two. Yeah, okay. Because I think I tried this in the past to see if I could just make it connect directly, and I don't think it worked. So let's go ahead and do... Oh. I'm going to use a cable. That's a thought. Was it foundation? No. What are these guys? Dynamics. Okay. So, these actually look really awesome, by the way. But I don't know that I have enough gelid cryothium at the moment. So it takes cryothium, which takes blizz powder, right? Now you can actually make blizz powder, but this is, well, it's the quote-unquote easiest way, because all you do is throw blizz rods in there, but I don't have any blizz rods. But yeah, I don't think I have enough snowballs, and I haven't made, yeah, I've got 18. Can I macerate snow? Is that a thing? It's kind of silly. I mean, I know I can just, like, break it, right? No, okay, I can't pulverize it, at least. And you may be able to throw it in a macerator, I don't know. Actually, you know what? So this is actually what I did with my diamonds earlier. Now, you can make, and I will eventually make, something that'll do this much more easily. Alright. Hey, snowballs. I had that empowered. That's why it was doing it in rows. That should be enough. Alright, so we need to do... Oh, I need another fluid transposer for this, right? So let's go ahead and make another fluid transposer. Alright, so what I was going to say is you can make... well, I need one of those. A glacial precipitator. And that will get you ice, and it'll get you snowballs. So think of it like this guy over here. The igneous extruder. So, you know, right? We can make cobblestone, we can make stone, and we can make obsidian through combinations of lava and water. Well, the other one, the glacial precipitator, you hook water up to it, and it'll make ice and snowballs for you. That's cool, right? It's actually very useful if you're making some certain things. Like, I really like ice fences. I think they're really cool. But you need some ice to do that. I don't really have ice. I can go to a nearby glacier or something, but, you know. Alright, so let's make another fluid transposer. Alright, so actually I think I put in here how to make machine frames. Yeah, I can make a machine frame. Alright, next. Start. Ta-da! Machine frame! Alright, sorry, I love applied energistics crafting. It makes things so easy. Alright, so... but it's actually, you know, it takes a little bit to actually get everything up and running, right? So, alright, we need copper gears. It's not the way I want to do it. Actually, I should have just left it like that. Alright, so copper. I need some iron. And I'm pretty sure this will work, right? Yep. 1, 2. Copper gears. All done. Alright, so what else do we need? We need... I think we've got everything. Yep. Fluid transposer. Cool. Let's throw that bottle in there because it's annoying me. Alright, so I'll just stick you on top. Why not? And I'll put... like that. Sorry, my throat got really scratchy for a second. I need a drink. Alright. Yeah, real scratchy. That was actually kind of painful. Let's zero that out. And then from the bottom, I will put that. So we have everything going into there. And actually, can I stack? Okay, only 16. I figured it'd only be 16, but... Alright, so we're going to need to make... what? Oh, actually, no, it's destabilized redstone that we need, isn't it? I was thinking about the cryothium. But yeah, if you just stick these guys in here, it'll make what you need. Actually, we will need this, so don't worry about it. But I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of blizz powder because we're going to need it, right? I'll see you in a second. Okay, folks. Alright, so what we need to do now, we've got 32 blizz powder, that should be fine, is get some saltpeter. Alright, so there's a few ways you can get this, but the most reliable way is just using the saltpeter, or I haven't really gone after it in the past, but accidentally breaking blocks. I think it's not common, but I remember seeing plenty of saltpeter in the nether, so you guys should be able to find it fairly easily that way. But you can also get it from sandstone. You get a 50% chance when you're pulverizing it. That's probably going to be your most reliable way to do it. Just because it's really simple to do. But yeah, so you can also get it from blitz powder or blitz rods. I haven't run to that many blitzes. I've found a few, but I could probably count those few on one hand, and if not one, definitely two. So that's another option you've got there. And then these are just more ways to do the same thing, just using different mods. And apparently there's some unstable combs that you can use to get them. But yeah, we're just going to do the quick and easy way. I'm just going to throw these saltpeter in here. And look at that, we've got 40. So it actually does 10 per, which is really nice, which is more than we need. So let's go ahead and... Oh, and you can also do niter. Oh, actually, that's what we did. I think niter and saltpeter are fairly interchangeable because I actually couldn't left click on saltpeter. But yeah, I can't left click on it. It's got recipes, but I think they're interchangeable. Okay. Alright, so sorry, it's been a long day. I had a really intense meeting this morning before classes, so it's always nice to find that you've got an email the previous day, just a few minutes after you've woken up and just stepped out of the shower, and you log on and you're like, I've got a meeting in less than 30 minutes. It's going to take longer for me to get ready for that meeting, much less drive across town and, actually get there. So, yeah. It was an interesting morning. I was mostly prepared, though. There's only one thing I didn't have, so I was actually pretty content with that. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's just do cryo, because I know that's a good way to get to it. Alright, so cryo-stabilized flux duct. Alright, so what I'm going to try to make is a cryothium. Alright, so that's actually pretty simple. Oh, hey, we've got plenty of snowballs. We need a redstone, niter, and the blizz powder that we just made. Now, I'm going to go ahead and transfer, or make all of this blizz powder into what I need, because I don't think there's... Oh, I actually can't even right-click on it. Oh, I did right-click on it, and this is the only thing you make with it. Okay, no problem. Alright, so I'm just going to toss all this stuff in here. Okay. Now, this is also what we're going to need to do, but that's not what I was planning on doing. So I'm going to make this first. And that should give us like a stack. Yeah, easy. Easy peasy, and I can make a few more, but a stack of this stuff is plenty for now. Now, how much do I want to put in here? First, I need to make sure that my configuration is set to the top. Let's try 16. How much is that giving us? A little bit. I don't know how much I'm going to need, though, is the thing. Yeah, I'll start off with 16. I'll put some more in there. Oh, actually, that's getting me more than I thought it would. Okay, so that gave me 4,000. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we need for this. We need some form of hardened glass fused quartz. I'm pretty sure I've got everything I need in that. We need some electrum, which I know I have, and we need a redstone energy flux duct, which I also know I have. Alright, so that's pretty... I mean, don't get me wrong, this is expensive. Fused quartz, it takes, what, 3 quartz to get 1 glass? So, you know, it's not that bad. It's just, it takes a lot to get here, right? So, you know, the redstone energy flux ducts, they're not super expensive in themselves, but, you know, you have to go through a few steps to make them. Same thing with fused quartz. Same thing with electrum. What's what, gold and silver combined, and then you've got to smelt it, and it has to be dust. So, you know, there's a few steps you have to go through. I just need 2 of these. I don't need more at the moment. I'm not going to start using them because, honestly, I'm not even making use of these right now. The only reason I'm using these guys is because, let's see, I'll show you right here. It transfers infinite RF per tick. Now, it doesn't store anything in itself because these guys actually do, as you see here, have small storage in them. But I want to know that once I put these guys down, I'm not going to have to worry about them again. So no matter how far we go as far as technology goes, no matter what my power supply is, Tesseracts will transfer infinite energy, so I can have 100 Tesseracts set up going, you know, let's just, this is obviously absurd, but I can have 100 Tesseracts accepting energy from different sources, and these guys will accept all the energy for all of them with no blockage whatsoever. So that's why I'm using these. Otherwise, it would be kind of silly to use these at my point in technology. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys up here. And we'll see how much cryo they take up. Okay, about 500. Alright, so they should take, what, like 4, right? 4 cryo dust to make 2. So 2 per. 2 cryo dust per. But now we have our... I'll just show you these guys. Aren't those cool looking? I was worried that would look stupid, but they actually look really cool because in here they kind of look kind of silly. But here it's just like, oh my gosh, that's actually kind of awesome. Yeah, I wish I could use those all over the place, but I don't really... I mean, I could, right? I could make every single duct that I use these things, but that'd be so silly, right? That would be silly, right? These things are actually cheaper to make than the Enderium. I made a bunch of these guys just for this because, you know, I thought, hey, I need to... Well, these things are going to be more expensive, right? But Enderium's harder to make than Electrum, so I don't think I'm going to make any more of these. Weird, huh? And, you know, these guys right here, they serve almost all my purposes, period. Because they transfer enough RF that usually I don't have to worry about anything more. But these, while a little bit more complicated, they transfer more power than... I mean, they transfer infinite power, right? And they also are just cheaper. You know, maybe they take a lot more materials. Did I get them? Okay, good. I was like, please tell me I don't have to go down there. Right, they take more materials, but at the same time, the materials that they use are less expensive. Alright, so I'm going to do energy. That work, right? So what is this configured? Okay, so it's in and out. That's fine. Especially while I'm figuring out if I was right or not. Because I'm like, logically, I'm 100% sure I'm right. Emotionally, I'm like, did I screw up? Did I not understand this correctly? Okay, are they both on in? Is that why it's... Oh. One's on out and one's on in. What the heck is going on? Oh! Hey, dum-dum. Alright, so currently I have this thing up here turned off. Alright, because I don't want my quarry running all the time. And, right? Silly me. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, so it's working now. Okay, so I did have it backwards. The out is actually, say, shooting it out from where we're coming from at the moment. In fact, I want to see. Can I do this with a wrench? Yes, I can. Okay. And you can see the faucet's turned off. Can we do this now? Yes, we can. Okay, so we don't even need these guys. I was just being silly. Alright, so the out is, say that you have this box right here, right? So energy's coming into this box and it's flowing out from the box. So think of it that way. So I did have it backwards. I already have 5 million in there already. This one, it's coming into the box, and from there it flows to this guy. Or it did until I moved it. Alright, so I love the star field that we've got in this. Isn't that cool? And you can actually change that in the config if you want to. But yeah, so this is filling up nicely with power. But I need to turn my other system off. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to set up yet another Tesseract. And I'm going to set that one to be... Alright, I'm going to set one to be the energy network. And then... how do I want to do this? Alright, to explain it to you guys, what I'm trying to do is make sure that all power that I have flows through that storage. Because if you don't do that, then you can start having problems. I've actually shown that to you guys before. Because my AE network, when I had these two systems crossed, my AE network was constantly losing power. Because the power that it was getting was going directly from these guys. Actually, I had, instead of having it flow from my storage, I had it going this way, and I didn't have any of this line right here that's connecting it to storage. So it was only getting power that was coming from these. But if I had it, this was already going this way into storage, but it was also going this way. So whenever these guys had a drain on them, that they had energy that they needed to fill, these guys were sending most of their energy to the storage unit, the energy cells. So I would be able to use my terminals here, but every time I drained in power, they would flash off for, about half a second. So I'd be able to shift click an item, I'd have to wait. Shift click an item, I'd have to wait. So it was really, really annoying. So that's why I want all of my power to go into storage and be down there first. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, how do I want to do this? Right now I've got power going through this storage unit and into here. I would like to set up... Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a power room, right? And all of that's going to flow into a single Tesseract that carries the power down there. But I need an intermittent way to do this. So what I'm probably going to do is disconnect the other, the Ender Quarry. I think that would be the best way, and do it from that side and not from this side. That way I don't have to build a Tesseract, and I'll just, go over there and turn it off and on when I need to. I don't want to do that long term because that's a bit of a pain to go into that world. And then, you're loading up another world. So I think every time you go into the Nether, it takes, a little bit for it to adjust. And then, of course, this world, goes into storage. It doesn't, except for areas that are chunk loaded, like this area right here, the chunks that are outside of that area go down. They're no longer loaded. So every time you come back, all of that other stuff needs to reload, which, it's fine. It takes time, and your computer has to deal with it. So you're just like, for a few seconds there, it's like, and plus it's inconvenient. It'd be nice to just come in here, hey, quarry on, and then go about your business instead of, okay, go up there, up to the front, teleport to the village, and then go from the village to the other world, and then the deep dark, and then jump down from the ceiling to get to the Tesseract, and then turn that on, and then go back, fly all the way back up the ceiling, teleport to the village, teleport for the village back to here, and then walk all the way over here. See, it's much easier. Just go in that room, flip a switch, and then go about your business. So, I'll set that up. It'll just be a little bit, and I'll do it off camera. But yeah, I think that's good. I mean, for now, I've got all that stuff on, and that is filling up. So it's going to take forever. I don't expect to have that full anytime soon. It's 2 trillion RF. That's a lot of energy. But I'll have different energy types putting into it eventually, and I'll clean up all that and do a little bit of decoration for these pillars. I'll just make them like diamonds or something. It kind of goes with all the triangles and all that. So I'm going to get a few things out of storage, and I'll be back with you guys, and we'll move on to the next project. Alrighty, folks. So actually, it's kind of the end of this episode, right? So yeah, that's unfortunate. I was hoping to get that room done in this episode, but time flies. I mean, time really flies. I talk a lot. But you guys got to see some cool stuff, right? So we made some of the cryo-stabilized flux ducts, which are really cool. We didn't use them, but they're cool. So, I don't know. I like these guys. I want to use them everywhere, but they're really expensive, right? I mean, honestly, this is the part that's the biggest pain in the butt. I mean, these take aluminum. That stinks. That's energized glowstone. So those are the cheaper versions, right? Or that's the more expensive version. The cheaper version is fused quartz. Oh, it actually takes 4 per 3. And that's if you can actually get this to work, because it wants to suck them up like that. I mean, it'll fill all of them, but it'll only take from one, and then it'll go to the other, and then it'll go to the other. What else do we have on here? Hardened glass from thermal expansion, which is lead and obsidian. Maybe that's the cheapest way to do it. That's probably the easiest way to do it, right? I mean, because you don't really use lead for all that much. And before I realize that I'm out of lead. What else is there? It's the fused quartz. Oh, you can hold shift down, by the way, to get it to pause. I don't do it that much, but that is a way you can do it. Fused quartz. I think that's all of them, right? Yeah. So that's all the different ones. So you can use either nether quartz, which isn't, I mean, it's decently abundant, but I mean, to get a lot of it, you're really going to have to make a quarry in the nether, which who wants to do that? It's actually really easy to do, but I don't like making big world holes. I mean, I guess I could make a dirt nether. That's fun, right? You can use aluminum, which is, you can use glowstone, or you can use lead. So glowstone, lead, or quartz. And really, what's the easiest to get of all of those? Well, it depends on if you have a quarry or not. If you've got a quarry, say in the overworld or in one of the other worlds, that's not the nether, then lead's probably going to be your best option. If you don't have a quarry, maybe quartz or glowstone is going to be your best option. If you can't fly, then quartz is probably going to be your best option. If you can fly, then glowstone's probably going to be your best option. So, there are different ways to do it. So, honestly, that's probably going to be your worst thing. If you have a quarry, this is actually going to be really easy. because all it takes is, let me check and make sure that it is gold and silver, because I'm pretty sure it is, but I haven't made it in a while. Yeah, pulverized silver and gold. So, it's like, if you have a quarry, it's not going to be bad. If you don't, then the gold and silver are going to be a problem. But maybe you can get nether quartz pretty easily. I'm actually running pretty low on nether quartz. I got some recently, but then I had to use a bunch of the glass that I talked about a second ago. So I'm down to about 400. Yeah. All right, so that's going to be it. Next episode, we're probably going to make a tank. And I'll probably make it out of steel. There's actually a few different types of tanks. I don't know what's going on up here. Because, hey, you remember all these? Every single one of these was full of oil. Now, I'm hoping, I don't want to touch them. I'm hoping the oil is actually still there. I mean, obviously it's not reading as that, but I did just have the game crash twice. And sometimes when you load up the game after you have a crash, your fluids don't show up. I've had that problem before. So I'm hoping that when I load the game up from a proper shutdown, think about your computer. It warns you that you should probably start it in safe start mode, or in safe mode after you have a computer crash, if you have a BSOD or something like that. So that's blue screen of death if you don't know, and you all should know that. If you don't, well, that probably means you haven't been around computers that much, because otherwise, well, I don't know, it may be an older generation thing, because those of us that didn't originally grow up with the computers when computers were more rare. I pretty much grew up with computers existing, but my elementary school had one computer in the entire school. Computers were just that rare at the time. You go back a couple more generations, people saw computers very, very rarely. I got to see them because my dad was a designer from Trane Air Conditioning. So, of course, they had the biggest, and the best, which at the time was just my computer dwarfs the best thing that they had at the moment, because technology has gotten that far. But, when I was a kid, nobody really had computers at home. But now everybody, I mean, I've got two PCs. Well, one of them's sitting in the closet and I don't use. I've got, a laptop. I've got a tablet. I've got my Kindle. Actually, I have two Kindles. I've got my phone, which my phone is as powerful as, actually it's probably more powerful than my first PC was, right? Because my first PC didn't even have, a gigabyte of RAM. It had 1 or 2 gigabytes of memory. It had, I can't even tell you what the processor was. It was just, it ran, I think it ran Windows 95. But yeah, so technology's come a long, long way. But yeah. So anyway, I don't remember what got me off on that tangent. Oh, blue screen of death, right? So, but yeah, it's a lot like that. We used to get blue screens of death a lot more often than we do these days. Windows 10 hasn't been running all that well for me lately, but I still haven't even gotten BSODs on that. I haven't seen a BSOD in a long time, actually. Probably not since I used Vista. I don't think I ever got one with Windows 7. And I haven't yet on Windows 10, which, as badly as it's running for me, I'm kind of surprised. I think I might have to do a fresh install, which is kind of scary. I hate doing fresh installs because it can be pretty risky at times. But yeah. Just not risky for technological reasons, but human error, crap, I didn't, save everything that I needed to save. But yeah, or back it up. Anyway, I'm dropping frames and the creeper over there is scaring me. But yeah, he's saying, nope, don't do it. Nope. But yeah, so hopefully my oil will come back. That's where that came from. But we'll use a different tank for that. We're going to use Railcraft's tanks because I like Railcraft's tanks. There's also an Ender version, but that one takes power for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so I thought that one might be useful, but the Ender version of the tank actually, it takes power and it actually stores less than steel tanks do. I think it may store more than the iron tanks, but I wasn't going to use iron anyway, so. Alright, but yeah, that's what we're going to do in the next episode, and we're going to hook it up to our system. That way we can turn it on and get all kinds of items and stuff that we're going to use to do better than the pulverizer, because pulverizer is cool, but it's not the best option that we have. Alright, so until next time, I hope you enjoyed my rambling. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Maybe it might have been helpful. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we did do these things, right? That's kind of cool. Alright, so, until next time, hope you have a wonderful day.